yogis, it has been far too long since I have offered a full-length practice here on this platform for you. A lot of life has been happening, but I am so excited to start getting back here, sharing more, offering more. And I have a really special practice for you today. July 30th is World Against Human Trafficking Day, and I held a live class on Zoom that was donation-based, and all participants offered a donation, whatever they could. There was no minimum, and we all practiced together. Those donations went to support Operation Underground Railroad, which fights against human trafficking. So all across the country on July 30th, people were participating in different events to support this cause. I wanted to share that practice with you because it's something that is a passion of mine. It has really spoken to my heart, and something that I'm hoping to become more involved in. And so this practice was just really a soul offering for me. So some of you, some very generous people donated, but they weren't able to practice with us live. So this is for you, wonderful, amazing people who donated without getting anything in return. And also just for the rest of the community to have this practice. So with that being said, we'll start seated today. Let's come to our comfortable seat. Legs can be crossed or another variation. Allow the hands to rest on the thighs or the legs, or it can be really nice to just place hands on the body. So one hand over the navel, one hand over the heart. And for practice today, we'll be talking a lot about this connection between the energy centers of our navel and our heart. So this might be a nice place to come to. Begin to drop in. Notice your breath. Those few cleansing breaths as you begin can be really nice. Just sighing away that which no longer serves you in this moment. Inviting yourself to become present here on this little plot of earth that you've carved out for your practice. Invite yourself to release thoughts of the rest of your day. Without force or expectation, you can begin to deepen your breath rhythm. So as you drop in that full breath rhythm which supports your practice, I'll share with you that this offering was inspired by the day of July 30th, World Against Human Trafficking Day. The specific event was called is called Rise Up for Children, but is inspired by Operation Underground Railroad, again, which fights to end human trafficking. So what's interesting, I think, is that this is happening all around us in this country, and we aren't even aware of it. something that is brought to light. And one slogan of Operation Underground Railroad is shine your light. So shine your light on what is happening all around us. And our awareness is not brought to it. Very rarely, right? And I find that when our attention is turned to something that brings up discomfort, there are many ways in which we react as humans. And one way is that we turn away from the discomfort. There are many reasons why this can happen, but sometimes we turn away because it's just like too much. But what the physical practice of yoga helps to teach us is that we can meet discomfort in a steady way. And we challenge ourselves on the mat to meet that discomfort and stay calm amidst the chaos. We have this tool, our breath, which supports us when we come up against discomfort. And so I just invite you to notice as we move around our mat, how do you respond when discomfort arises? And I feel that when something doesn't sit well with us, when something speaks to our heart as an injustice, we feel often this fiery passion where we just want to act. What can happen though is if we have too much fire that isn't contained, isn't grounded, then it becomes scattered. And a teacher that I practice with often, her name is Jo Tastula. If you ever have the chance to practice with her, she's amazing. She said this idea in my mind for a practice of hers of grounding ourselves in compassion, and I feel that this is so potent what we're working with today. Compassion means to suffer together, and so when we see our brothers, our sisters, our fellow humans suffering, we also suffer. And I think it's important that when we are moving from a place of passion, when we want to take action, that we move first from that grounded, compassionate place. So we'll work today at setting that foundation, creating that heat, that fire to bring forth change, and then allowing this to rise up into the center of our hearts. With that, take a deep inhale through the nose, out of the mouth. Let's switch across of our legs here. If your legs are crossed, one mudra that you can take from Manipura chakra, this passion fire center, is when we interlace our fingers and keep the index fingers extended. And we're going to move this mudra a bit through our sequence, and this is how we'll do it. So that as you inhale, the arms extend overhead. As you exhale, they lengthen forward and down, and you draw them back up to the heart space once again. This was passed down to me through teacher, Miss Shiva Ray. Passed down as the image of a great sword. Today, I'd like to imagine this sword as cutting through disillusionment, then moving with clear fire, clear purpose into action. So this is how we will use our mudra today. Okay, last time we joined together at the heart, and then let us transition onto hands and knees. As always, I just make that shift to the side. You can stay as you are. Feel that your wrists are aligned under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And as you inhale, feel the sit bones in the center of the chest rise. And as you exhale, pressing through the earth around the spine, you can gaze at your navel. Continuing to move here in this way. With your breath, starting to set that pace for your practice, knowing that breath is the container for movement. Movement happens within the container of your breath. I'm going to try to give less physical alignment cues, though it can be challenging for those of us who have been leading these movement practices for some time. We want to get all of the physical cues. You can make some circles here if you'd like. But I'd like to try to give less physical cues and allow us to be more in how this practice feels on an energetic and emotional level. A couple more times, switching directions if you were going in circles. And let us feel neutral here. Hips stay aligned over the knees. And then invite the hands to walk out in front of you for Anapatasana. Feel the center of the chest melt down through the earth. Maybe the forehead touches down. Upper arms roll open here. And as much as the front of your chest is softening, so is the back door of your heart, that space between your shoulder blades. Let your elbows release, tuck your toes, lift your knees, and shift forward into a forearm plank here. Lengthen the tailbone toward the heels. Feel the front ribs knit in. And then we'll move so that on an inhale, the heels will shift right. We're just setting up a pattern for later. Exhale through center. Inhale, heels left. Exhale, feel center. Not a huge movement, but you might feel how it just starts to turn on the core of your body, generating some heat. One more in each direction. Feeling our way back through center, let the pelvis soften to the earth. Untuck the toes. Draw the center of the heart between the window of the arms into Sphinx shape. And as you exhale, laying your body all the way onto the earth in full pranam. So giving yourself just this extra moment to feel really grounded in where you are. Let's enjoy a spacious cobra here. So feet open, mat width apart. Fingertips glide back and wider than your shoulders. You're on the pads of your fingers. And as you inhale, shoulder blades hug the spine, begin to rise up. Lots of space. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, rising from the heart. Exhale. Just once more in this way. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Feet come back to hip width. Palms slide back. Inhale, more traditional Bhujangasana. Let us exhale through hands and knees. And in your own time and way, starting to press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Toes tuck, hips rise, up and back. You might feel a little purposeful movement here, but again, inviting that movement to be purposeful. And then begin to plant your roots through the palms of the hands, balls of the feet. Inhale, glide forward, plank shape, shoulders over wrists. Adjust if you need to. Pause, and then pull from belly, up and back, downward facing. Good. Inhale, guides us through, plank shape. Exhale, drawing back. Just once more this way. Inhale through, plank. From your center, exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Breath out. As you inhale, heels rise, bend the knees, look forward. Take as many steps as you need. Let's come to the top of our mat. Forward folding, Uttanasana. Might be nice to catch opposite elbows here, let the body sway out. As always, if you'd like to get into shoulders, you might interlace the hands behind the back, join the palms, reach them up and overhead. And then let's release our hands toward the earth, press them into the shins. Inhale, lift and lengthen, halfway, Ardha, half Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Take your mudra, interlace your fingers except for the index. Engage legs, lengthen forward and up. Urdhva so mudra overhead. If you like, lengthen tailbone down and lift into the center of the heart. You can curl back slightly. Now it comes to the earth with us, so forward and down, pour out, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, stepping back, plank shape. Allow the feet to be just slightly wider than hip bone distance. And on your next inhale, heels dial right. Exhale through center. Inhale left. Side to side with breath. Allowing ourselves to move in a steady, controlled way. Helps us to create heat without overheating. So when we overheat, we have too much fire, becomes scattered energy. Back through center, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath in, full breath out. As you inhale, right leg rises, use the entire length of your breath. Exhale, knee to nose, pause, shift forward, really hug in. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, knee shifts forward, pause. Inhale, press back. Exhale, knee comes forward, then lightly step your right foot to the inside of your right hand, feel lunge. Ground your left palm on the earth, and as you inhale, breathe your right arm through the sky. Just a few circles here, so exhale, reach to the back of the mat, down, forward, up and around, twice more, with breath. Next time that the right hand comes along your right foot, let it land on the earth. Begin to draw the right hip back, working toward a straight leg. It may not happen, not a requirement. Lengthening through the left heel, though it will not touch the earth, we feel that activation. New breath, right knee bends, allow the left knee to release, untuck the toes, Anjaneyasana, both arms rise. Let's take our mudra at the top, interlace your fingers except for the index. And as you exhale, soften down into hips and pelvis. As you inhale, rise up through the heart. Exhale, release your hands to the inside of your right foot and swivel onto this right shin, your left shin, your back shin, so that you're sitting on your heel and your toes are tucked. Find your mudra. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward and down. So cutting through disillusionment, finding clarity, cutting through injustice, igniting your passion, moving with compassion. Unwind back over the right leg. So the left knee will stay on the earth. Inhale, your right leg sweeps back in line with your hip. Now this left shin goes in the other direction toward the left long edge of your mat. Standing on the left hand, maybe the right arm sweeps through the sky for Vashisthasana. So we work in our physical practice in krama in stages. And as we start to build into these more dynamic shapes, maybe the arm sweeps over the ear, please know that you can always come back to some of these first kramas, back into plank chain. And if you would like to move through chaturanga, please enjoy here. Cobra or Urdhva Mukha, up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And as you inhale, left leg rises. Use the entire length of your breath, so only the end of your inhale, or at the very peak. Exhale, knee to nose, pause. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, shift forward. Once more, inhale, we extend. Exhale, forward. Lightly step through. Feel lunge, pause. Then set up for the twist. So right hand plants. Inhale, breathe your left arm through the sky. And then just few circles. Back, down, forward, and around. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. Completely unhurried. Breath out, now the hand lands. Begin to draw the hip back. Maybe you work toward a straight left leg. New breath, knee bends, Anjaneyasana, crescent moon. Feeling our mudra at the top here. As you exhale, hands release. So turning that back shin so that you come to sit on your heel with the toes tucked. Take your mudra at the center of your chest 3 times. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward and down. Just in your mind's eye, imagine that you are slicing through all of the things which no longer serve you. Back to your heart. We make a turn over our left leg. Right knee stays down. Left leg extends back in line with our hip. Now the right foot turns in the other direction toward the long edge of our mat. Right long edge. Left arm extends. So please know I didn't say it on the other side, but this top leg can also be down, right? Maybe you extend this arm over the ears. So important as we move to notice what your body needs in a moment. Honor that. Be with that. And maybe it means that on this day, you don't take the more dynamic kramas. No problem. Come back to plank. Every day is different. Maybe chaturanga, Nidasana down dog, or balasana. Honoring that sacred pause too, honoring the importance of rest and pause.
because we don't want to have so much fire that we just burn up everything around us. It's often important to pause, reflect, get grounded, and then move. From wherever you are, heels rise, look forward, make your way, top of the mat. Lengthening halfway in breath. Exhale, fold, interlace your hands. Let's find your mudra. Extend it all the way overhead. Maybe a little curling back at the peak. Then exhale, forward and down. It returns to our heart. Release the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plank shape. Feet a little bit wider than hips. And as we inhale, the heels dial right, and this time maybe the left hand comes up to your heart, or maybe you keep the hands grounded as we did in that first wave. Side to side with breath. Over to the right, hand to the heart, or left arm to the sky. Allowing your practice to be supported only by your deepest breath, this time maybe over the ear. Okay, we come together, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. So same sequence, this time one breath, one movement. As you inhale, right leg, rise. Exhale, step through. Inhale for the twist, right arm through the sky. Little circle. Let it find the earth. Draw the hip back, straighten the leg, maybe. Bend into the right knee, inhale, Anjaneyasana. Take your mudra. And if you have the space, this time maybe you circle hands back and down. Perhaps they graze the earth for just a moment. Utasis back bend. Exhale, release. Heel comes under our seat. Mudra at the center of the chest. And I just find this shape to be so powerful, but in a really humble, grounded way. Just love it. Release. Left knee stays down, right leg extends. So this variation of Vashisthasana on the left side. If you want something a little further, you can bend this top leg, reach around and catch your foot, and now draw that energy up into the heart. As you press the foot into the hand. Releasing back through plank shape. Connecting movement, down dog, or wisdom asana, which I much prefer as a translation for balasana, because there's so much wisdom in the pause. There's so much wisdom to listening and knowing when to take that pause. As you inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, steps us through. Inhale, left arm through the sky for that twist. Exhale around. Feel the earth. Draw back. And the knee. Right knee releasing, Anjaneyasana. Mudra at the peak. Maybe you circle back and just taste that back bend. Exhale. Now, the right shin comes under your seat, toes are tucked. Mudra, soar up. And forward. Coming back around that left leg. Let it extend back behind you. Turn your right shin in the other direction. Left arm rises, a variation of Vashisthasana, knowing the foot can always be down, or you bend the knee, catch the foot. Pressing the top of the foot into the hand, make space through the center of the heart. Release. Plank shape. You choose what serves you here. 5 deep breaths wherever you have come to. I'm going to take a moment kneeling and just fix this wonderful hairdo that's happening. Now, the plight of having long hair. I shared with my community the other day. I'm sure many of you can understand who have long hair. It seems like a really good idea to practice with your hair down because you think you're going to look really cool and sexy, and you just end up suffocating. So it's always like, what do I do with my hair? Okay. So if you've made your way elsewhere, let's return to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, heels rise, bend the knees, make your way, top of the mat. Lengthen half. Pour out, exhale. Agni Mudra, fire, inhale, all the way up. Maybe a gentle curling back at the peak. Hands release. Pause. I'm going to turn now back toward you as we step into Vrksasana, tree shape. Our left leg will be our trunk first, and our right foot will come somewhere along this leg, always being aware to avoid the knee. Sometimes one of the best ways that we have to be grounded is by touching our body. Our physical body is what's associated with root chakra, that grounding energy. So sometimes we're just like, I have to come here. If you would like to extend your mudra overhead, create a little more fire. Exhale, we release. Other side, just stepping to the other side. Planting roots in that right leg, allowing the left leg to come somewhere, left foot to come somewhere along the inner seam of your right leg. And maybe we're here, just taking that moment to pause, reflect. How can I step into action? How can I step into my fire with a sense of grounded compassion? Two more slow, purposeful breaths. And gently releasing. Okay, I'm going to turn back to the top of my mat. Dial the heels in and the toes out. Again, you can reach your mudra up overhead, and we are coming down into Malasana here. So from that grounded compassion, then we have the foundation to step into our fire. So we're going to start to build on that. You can stay here in Malasana. Kramas, remember, stages. You choose the path that serves you. If you would like a little more, bring your heels together, toes are apart like the letter V, and begin to walk the hands out in front of you. Feel the knees open out. This is actually one of the first kramas of Bakasana, or arm balance, which we will touch on in a few moments. If you're in sort of this extended Malasana, walk the hands back, step into plank. This time, inviting the feet to come together, rolling onto the outer edge of our right hand, right foot and our hand, and the left arm can rise. And if you would like, step your left foot into tree. Maybe this arm reaches overhead. Exhale, back for plank. Controlled, slow, onto the other side, outer edge of left foot, left hand, right arm rising. Maybe we step this right foot into tree. Please avoid your knee. Another 2 breaths. And Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deep full breath in. Breath out. As we inhale, invite your right leg to rise. Exhale, we step through. Anjaneyasana once again. This time, bring your right hand to support your sacrum. Lengthen the tailbone down. Lift from the center of the heart. Feel all this space on your left side, and then take it with you as we come over into a twist. So the left elbow lands the outside of your right thigh. The palms can join. Stay long through the crown. So resist the urge to crank the cervical spine around. Exhale, slow to unwind. Take your back toes, lift the knee, Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale, warrior 1. What's so potent about the story of Virabhadrasana 1 is that Vira, the warrior, actually rises up out of the earth, sword in hand. So feeling that potent energy here. And then as you exhale, interlace hands behind the back, turn the palms, big breath into the heart once again. And then humbly, we shift over this front thigh. You can hover, or if you have the space, shoulder to the inside of the right knee. So when we move like the warrior in a humble, compassionate way, I find that actually the work is better. Or the message is more clear. Release the hands. Back heel rises. 3-legged plank if you would like. Inhale. Right knee coils in, and now onto the left hand. Can you hover these right toes at the left inner thigh? If you would like to dance them behind the left leg, and freedom, turn hips and heart toward the sky. Exhale, release, perhaps enjoying some connecting movement here. Or straight back, down dog, balasana, you choose. Deep breath in, full breath out. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, through inside the left hand. Anjaneyasana, arms rise. Left hand comes to support the sacrum. Little breath into the heart. And then take this space that you've created with you across into the twist. Join the palms. And then lengthen through the crown. So often we want to crank the neck. We want the neck and head and eyes to come with us, but be long through the crown. We want to maintain the integrity of the spine here. On your next exhale, unwind. Virabhadrasana 1, back toes top, thigh bone lifts. Rising up, sword in hand, out of the earth, Vira 1. Exhale, interlace hands in a non-habitual way behind your back. Climb up the spine, inhale. Exhale, humbly. The humble warrior, I believe, gets more work done. Touches more people. The compassionate warrior suffers with all of their brothers and sisters who are also suffering, and understands, hands to the earth, understands the importance of moving from compassion. Left knee coils in onto the right side now. Just hover these toes. Maybe you catch it, maybe not. How do we respond? Maybe these toes dance behind. And you can find some freedom here, hips and heart. Rise. Exhale, release. Movement if you choose. Or a wonderful moment for that sacred pause, wisdom asana. I'm going to stay a little more elevated. If you're in child's pose or if you're just taking a moment to find your breath rhythm, I'm just going to stay a little elevated so that I can share with you and you can still hear me. So as you reconnect with your breath rhythm, notice, how do you respond when met with discomfort? Do you turn away? Does it ignite fiery passion, so much so that you don't even know how to expend it? It just moves. In my mind, I see it moving in all directions, just burning. Or can you come back to breath? Can you get grounded in compassion first? Allow that steady burn, that steady fire to move you into action. Downward facing dog if you aren't already there. And on an exhale, we're stepping straight into malasana once again, top of our mat. So, first krama of Bakasana can be here, Malasana. You stay, enjoy, or heels together, toes apart. Walk the hands out in front of you. Krama 2, stage 2, and this is like so nice also. Or hands begin to walk back just forward at the line of your shoulders. And you can practice flying up into Bakasana. We'll see if I can still do it and talk. It's always a fun experiment. Shifting forward onto the hands. Maybe one toe, maybe all 10 come off the earth. And breathe. The tendency is that we want to hold our breath. If floating back is in your practice, you float, or we come together, downward facing dog, whatever way you choose. And exhale, Okay, straight into the fire, right leg, inhale. Exhale, step through. Crescent this time, inhale, take your mudra with you. You can draw it down to the heart, or you can release hands to your hips as we step up into Virabhadrasana 3 now. Shifting forward, left leg plucks off the earth, Vira 3. Long line drawing from the crown of the head all the way down that left leg, through the heel, shooting back. Let's rise back into Vriksasana, so the left foot comes to the inner seam of the right leg. And once again, this might be a wonderful time just to sit in the fire without creating more, if you have enough. But if you are still walking through the flames, arms rise, mudra. Maybe you crescent up over to the left. So you can feel how even in these more grounded shapes, what we consider a more earthy grounded shape like tree, Still, we can cultivate the sense of Manipura chakra, solar plexus, fire, core, back through center, hands release, knee turns forward, taste warrior 3 once again. Slow and control, we step all the way back into crescent. And a big old twist to the right. So the left elbow lands, palms join. Twists are also a really wonderful way to activate Manipura chakra, third chakra. Exhale, unwind. Let's extend this right leg up through the sky. Maybe you open the hip, maybe you bend the knee, maybe it feels good even to release your right foot to the earth and turn open. And back through downward facing dog. And if you really want it, connecting movement, otherwise I'll invite you just to pause here. New breath, left leg rising. Exhale. Slow, patient, inhale. Mudra to the heart, or hands to the waist. Step through your Vajrasana 3. When we move in a patient, grounded way, inhale, rise. We find actually that our work for Vrksasana can be a little better, a little clearer, because we've taken the time to sit, get grounded. You can keep hands on the body or mudra overhead before we take action. So often we want to act, you can crescent over here, so often we want to act just on impulse, on pure emotion. Can you pause with wisdom? Inhale through center first, before you take action. And now, tasting warrior 3. Allow this to set you back into crescent. And draw all that fire over into your twist. Lengthen through the crown of your head all the way to your back heel. I apologize for wearing baggy pants as you can't quite see as well what my legs are doing, but I hope that you get the idea. Unwind. 3-legged dog, let that left leg rise. Maybe you open the hip and the knee, maybe even turn it all the way over. Send your hips and heart toward the sun, reaching up. And we return down dog. One final opportunity for chaturanga, or allowing yourself to sit with the fire that you've cultivated. And pause in wisdom asana. Take notice. Take notice of what you have ignited within you. So we've allowed ourselves to feel Muladhara, earth. And from that place, begin to stoke the inner fire, passion. And then we're going to now draw that up into Anahata, our hearts, As you come up to stand on the shins, we will enjoy Ustrasana. We'll start with toes tucked. Take about 3 cycles, unless you want a little more. You know that you can always honor that. Bring the hands around to support your sacrum, lengthen tailbone down, roll the shoulders back, breathe into the heart. First one, if you aren't feeling quite ready for those deep spaces, first one, just pause here. Remembering that we don't have to go too far, too fast, something that a wonderful teacher handed down to me. Tendency is, as humans, is we want to go too far, too fast. Pause, notice what happens here. Come out, sit on your heels. Explore how that shape, these sensations, move through your body. Observe. And then the next time you go in, you might find that you have the space to create a more dynamic shape offering. Something as you kind of stand on the shins, once again, you might untuck the toes. Something that my teacher Shiva Ray offers is to consider these shapes, these physical shapes, as mudras of the body, the whole body. It's released into Ustrasana. You can stay, or at the same time, if you like, hands can touch the heels. And I've really been enjoying this shape, keeping the back of my neck long so that the chin is more neutral. But please know that you can also open the throat if that serves you. Heart openers live in the thoracic spine. So resist the urge to dump this into the low back. Feel the rising up takes you deeper. Releasing, sitting on heels, honoring that sacred pause. And when we create fire, and then especially as we step into the heart openers, a lot of energy gets flowing. And it's important to take a grounded pause in between. So come back to breath. Again, to just let that shape work its way through your body. And then you step in once again. So last cycle. Ustrasana. You choose your path. 5 to 8 breaths if they're available now. Coming out, we need to sitting on heels, and what happens often when we take these peak asana is we want to do a strong counter asana afterwards. Like sometimes after really dynamic heart openers, we go right into a deep forward fold. Actually, it can serve the body a little better if you just come to neutral first. So feel neutral for a moment. Maybe allow a little sway of the spine to happen here. And then, when you're ready, we come down onto our seat. I'm turning toward you now, but you can stay as you are. Legs extend. Keep the left leg extended. Draw the right foot to the inner left thigh. Janu Shirsasana. This is a little revolution here, so there is a little twist involved. Navel toward the Left thigh, inhale, reach tall. Exhale, up and over. Hands to the earth anywhere that's manageable. So find your manageable edge. And work in that space. From that space, allow breath to create more expansion in the body. Inhale to rise. Twist, right foot steps over the left thigh. I really enjoy the variation here of just hugging my shin with my left arm. Right fingertips behind you as you revolve. It feels so good on the outer hip here. And I think that it helps us not to overwork the spine to force us into something that is not quite healthy. However, if it is your medicine today to take the elbow to the outside of the leg, please enjoy. I'm going to stay here and hug the shin in. Gently unwind, stack your right knee on top of your left. Bottom leg can stay extended, strong, or this left foot can come by your right hip for Gomukhasana legs. We're just doing the legs for practice today. You can stay upright, close the eyes, or you might allow yourself to come forward just a bit. It can also be nice if you're a little closer to the earth here to support your head and your hands or your fists, or if you have blocks, which I neglected to bring into my practice today. This one is so perfect for blocks here. Rise with an inhale. Extend the legs once again. Just moving Janushirasana to the other side. So the right leg stays straight. Left foot comes in. Turn with the navel. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, forward and down. And pause when you find your edge. Lengthen through the crown, center of the chest. And maybe breath takes you in a bit more. Or maybe not, and that's okay too. It can be really easy to forget that not only is each day different, not only are we different each day, but moment to moment we are different. And so what serves you in one moment may not serve you in the next. Inhale, rise. So it's really wonderful as we step the left foot over to cultivate this inner listening, moving into the twist. Cultivate this inner listening so that we can be witness to what's happening in our body, both physically and emotionally. And we can move through the world, in a way which creates balance, moves us away from dis-ease. If you really want an elbow to the outside of the thigh here. Full Gomukhasana legs, inner thighs hug. Pause, breathe, enjoy. Or you might start to walk the hands forward. Or maybe you were wise and you brought some blocks into your practice, or something that can serve as a block. And you use those to support your heavy head. And I find that just the support of the head, like even that just makes the face soften, invites the face to soften. We don't even realize how much tension we hold in our face and jaw. Just that invitation to soften is so incredible. Releasing, slowly rising up. So we're transitioning onto our backs, and I'm going to come down with you as we do a supine twist, but then I'll come up for Shavasana. So please know that you can stay lying down. Okay, knees hug in. Maybe a happy baby here. The whole spine on the earth. Let your knees come together, arms out to a T, palms down. Invite both knees to drop over to the left as you soften your right shoulder toward the earth. And maybe you shift your gaze in that direction. As you inhale, invite your knees to come back through center, over to the right. Soften the left shoulder down, maybe you shift your gaze. Inhale, come back, one last loving hug, or if there are any final movements that you would like to take before Shavasana, please enjoy them. If you have a light directly over your face, such as this one, it might be a wonderful opportunity also to turn the lights down or off. I'm going to come up to a seat, but please stay lying down if that is your most relaxing place for Shavasana. Allow the eyes to close. Let the breath slow down. Feel that each exhale can soften the body just a little bit more. Feel now that each exhale brings you closer to the earth, as if you are just melting down into the earth beneath you. Notice without judgment
expectation, have you made any shifts? Physically, mentally, emotionally? Has there been a shift? Perhaps find an answer to this question of how you respond to or sit with discomfort. Maybe it isn't a full answer, but maybe there is just like a moment of clarity, a little spark. Sometimes enlightenment, I believe that enlightenment can happen in just moments, fleeting moments. Right? So did you have one of those? How do you respond to sit with discomfort? When faced with harsh realities, something that maybe you consider an injustice or a reality that has presented itself into your state of awareness, how do you respond when faced with harsh realities? Do you run away? Can you pause instead? Can you notice? Can you breathe? What comes up in the pause first, before the reaction? So notice what happens in the pause and with the breath. And that is the place from which we should take action and move. In general, get to know your discomfort. Sit with your discomfort. Become friends with your discomfort. The places where we experience discomfort shine a light on the things that we need to pay attention to. Injustices call for intentional, purposeful action. Action without purpose is distraction. And I'll leave you in Shavasana with this final thought. To be purposeful in your movement toward truth. It was so amazing to connect with you and share with you. I hope to see you again very soon.